Hey kid, you like Zelda? You hear about that private event they just held? Well, I got all the information about the mechanic and features of the new Zelda Tears of the Kingdom game. So in this video, we're going to be breaking down the 25 things we noticed in the Breath of the Wild sequel. Being the follow-up to what some may consider the greatest Zelda game of all time, fans are understandably very eager for details before its release. And we're very excited to dive deep into the latest information. So let's get this thing started.
The first thing I noticed was that batteries that you add to your vehicle, they get used up. They do not recharge like we've seen batteries recharge. In fact, the batteries that recharge are the ones that Link carries on his belt. I'm assuming that's what those little tears that look like, basically where he used to keep the Sheikha Slate. The old Sheikha abilities will probably still be accessible in the game somehow. Be it New Game Plus, play as Zelda. Those powers were attached to the Sheikha Slate, right? So whoever has that Sheikha Slate probably has the ability to use the powers attached to it. And Nintendo, when asked, wouldn't comment on being able to use the old abilities. This makes me think Zelda's playable, but I believe that she's stuck in the past. She's fallen in behind, and we're going to find, based on what some other people are talking about, it sounds like there's going to be two groups of heroes that need to come together across time. Kinda sounds like Hyrule Warriors to me. Okay, get this. You now have a Zonai parts library that you carry around with you. Just like your regular inventory, you have Zonai parts that you find from everything, be it those fans or those batteries or the rockets. You now get to take those parts around with you and build them anywhere. This means you're going to be able to bring your favorite builds with you. There's another ability that Nintendo doesn't really want a lot of people talking about. I'm calling it the Multihand. I think it's called pre-build or something like that. It basically does what it says it does. It's going to pre-build a lot of these things. I'm assuming these items come from your inventory. The travel medallion is returning from the Breath of the Wild DLC. Looks like it's going to be a handy tool for getting back on the island, the flying island, the sky island that you fell off of. Koroks are confirmed to be in the game again. As in the footage I saw, the little dude that gave the Link the Korok seed was looking for Hitsu. So I'm assuming we'll be taking those Korok seeds and exchanging them with him yet again. Are we going to be opening up our inventory, more slots? Who knows? I'm not digging the ability wheel. Maybe it's just because I'm playing Skyward Sword right now and I'm really not digging the ability wheel or all the wheels that it has. I think it might be because Skyward Sword doesn't freeze gameplay while you're in your window. And it seems like in Tears of the Kingdom, everything pauses when you open up your window, so it might not be as bad as I thought. This is one thing I was worried about. Bombs are in fact back in the game, but they take the form of bomb flowers. So I'm hoping, just like in Skyward Sword, that we're going to be able to harvest these bombs just like flowers on the ground and pop them in our bag. As Nintendo showed off, adding a Keis eye to your arrow might give you a homing arrow, but it's now confirmed that adding a Keis wing will give you a long-distance sniper shot. When picking what items to fuse from your inventory, it looks like you're going to be able to sort by item attack power. This is kind of cool. I'm curious what other ways we're going to be able to sort our items. Is there going to be a faves option? Ultrahand is totally the Magnises, but for everything, including non-metals. Plus, it does other stuff too. As a parent, I definitely see the potential in this game to build physics and building logic, puzzles for kids. I think kids are going to have a lot of fun in this game, just like in Minecraft. There's these Zonai Floating block island things. I don't know what they're called, but they act like air hockey pucks, but think in 6 axes. So you attach a rocket to it, it goes shooting up. Once the rocket's done spending its energy, the island will just freeze in place. It won't drop, it won't fall, it won't move forward, it won't fall backwards. It's just an air hockey puck stuck in place until you maybe add another rocket or, who knows, add another propulsion system to it. I think there are going to be two kinds of Zonai items that you can carry around with you. There's going to be the reusable kind and the one-time items. The reusable ones, I'm assuming, would be a fan, unless once you pull that out of your items, you can't put it back in your items. Maybe that's a thing. So fans may be reusable, but definitely one-time use items include the Zonai cooking pot, batteries that you add to your builds, plus they don't recharge, rockets, and I'm going to assume the flamethrower attachments too. Extra Zonai building parts can be obtained through a gacha style system where you actually take Zonai raw materials. I don't know what apparently it's the same item you can eat mid doing something, it'll recharge your battery. But if you turn in these to these gacha capsule, and they seriously look like gacha capsule toys, pop them in there, you're gonna get a whole bunch of capsules, pick them all up, and you get a whole bunch of new building materials. This might not be on everyone's, or it might just be like a debugging thing. There seem to be coordinates on the mini map, and there were 3 different numbers. So I'm thinking an X, a Y, and a Z axis. So vertically and, horizontally. This is gonna be really cool for when you find something cool in the world and you wanna share it with your friend. Like, did you find this island at blah, 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 blah? Could you throw just a Chu Chu jelly at an enemy and have it explode in Breath of the Wild? Because you definitely can do it in this one. If you don't want to fuse a Chu Chu jelly to something, just huck it like a grenade. It'll do the exact same thing as if it was fused to an arrow.
If we take this long stick and fuse it with a pitchfork,
you can only fuse 2 things together. So there's no making that extendo rod by just adding a whole bunch of spears together. So far, it looks like you can fuse weapons and shields to other things. So your base item is a weapon or a shield, and you can attach, a mushroom. If you do change your mind for your shield and your weapon, you can always unfuse them. I'm not sure what this does to your durability, but it sounds like by fusing items, you've increased its durability and its longevity. I'm thinking this new Accend ability is going to be a lot like the wall painting mechanic where Link, walked through walls in the Link Between Worlds. We're gonna have to take a lot of time just looking up and making sure, seeing what's close enough, because apparently there's a height restriction. You can't just zoom from the ground level of Hyrule all the way to a sky island. Bokoblins can now come in a full set of armor. It looks like it's like a stone armor or a weird mud armor or something, but you just need to crack it to get to the gooey center. There's magic rods now. So there's a magic rod, and it's a base magic rod. You add one of the gems, and that decides what element is cast when you use the rod. So you add a ruby, and you get a fire rod. I'm wondering, can you put Chu Chu jelly in these? Can you then still fuse something onto one of these magic rods? This one makes no sense to me, but I saw people take a shield and they fused a bomb barrel to their shield. And then they held up their shield and was up against an enemy. The enemy hit the bomb barrel, blew up, killed everybody, but Link took 0 damage. It made no sense. And then finally, something that I saw in one person's video that was just really cool, recipe cards are now in the game. You're gonna be able to keep track of the things you make and maybe even find better ways to make them in-game. I still kind of want to buy the player's guide, a big fat recipe book. Wouldn't that be fun?
There you go. That's 25, 26, 24, whatever things that we noticed from the new Zelda Tears of the Kingdom game. Now, if you noticed anything that we missed, or you just want to say hi, you gotta hit us up in the comments. And if you found the video informative, you better not forget to like and subscribe so you can game smarter and not harder. Thanks for watching. Until next time, go on and play something.